What is up, YouTube? AlphonZeus of Team Gradelock here with another episode of Team Gradelock Unlocks Week. We're going to be going over the latest Cardfight Vanguard episode, Ride 190, as well as results from our local and any more news that we have from Team Gradelock to you, our subscribers. Now, we're going to alternate this up a little bit here. Instead of giving you the episode breakdown first, we'll at least give you the results of the locals that's happened this past weekend, and then we can dive right into the episode. So, of course, instead of clicking the link in the description down below to skip to the local results, you can just stay tuned right here, and then once we get into the episode breakdown, which of course I'll leave a spoiler alert for, feel free to just close out the video. Now, this past weekend, I was unable to actually get any tournament practice in for the regionals, but of course, I've tried to ask some of my teammates to at least give me the lowdown on what in particular topped. I know that Alex, I gave him a call at the Friday tournament. I think there were a lot of teams there. I know that it was at least 6, maybe more, but I heard it was a pretty good turnout. I know that the two teams who topped were Alex and Matt, and then Jenna and Joe. Alex and Matt ran Shadow Paladin Revengers and Narukami Eradicators respectively, and we had Jenna and Joe ran Kagero, Novell, and Shadow Paladin Revengers respectively as well. So it's good to see them top, especially with the burst of competition that we've seen in the past few weeks. And now let's get into the Saturday tournament. Now, I haven't entered that tournament either, but at least I have the account on one of the teammates, Ian, who gave at least his game breakdown. He was running Great Nature, Chatnor, Break Ride over Leopold Reverse. So round 1, he faced against Jenna with Kagero, Novell. And game 1, she took the game because she nuked the field with the Novell Limit Break and got crit for game. And then game 2, he was able to burst her down with, the Chatnor Break Ride. By the time it was game 3, he hit the stand on the Break Ride turn and got the game because of that. Because, of course, with Chatnor and the Tiger effect, even with Leopold, you can hit for some crazy numbers. Even with, some of you, with even like 1 or 2 boosters locked. So, okay, Ian took round 1. And then round 2, he faced against Jason's Link Joker Star Vader build, Chaos Breaker Dragon. Game 1, Jason had control of the field in terms of locking before he could break ride, so that pretty much stopped all of his plays to a screeching halt. And then game 2, he could have had the broke ride, but the only attacker that he had was Lamp Camel. So he actually had to, I'm just reading off the script right here, at least, from what he sent me, and with Lamp Camel, he held off until he got more units, and eventually did not matter because he didn't really have anything in the hand to help him guard. So that led to the downfall, and Chaos Breaker controlled for a 2-0 victory. Round 3, he faced against Eric's Sealed Dragons of Kagero. Game 1, Eric got Gradelocked at 0, and then game 2, he actually hit double stands after break riding and got 14 cards in hand when it came back to his turn, because by the time he got the Shatnor effect with the stuff that he was retiring, he was just drawing mad cards to defend himself against with. Then round 2, he was facing off against Trigger Trap with Shadow Paladin Revengers. Game 1, it was another Gradelock, this time at 1. I think this was on Ian. And then game 2, 2 Raging Swarms hit the damage when Ian got a crit on one of his grade 1 or grade 2 ride. But the thing is, though, despite that, he was able to hold strong and get a double crit on the break ride. And then the last Raging in his hand, he managed to get it, so he can do that Superior Persona ride. Let's see here. And then one more trigger, and the column was swinging for over 36k, and he couldn't really guard that at all. The game 3, he was Gradelocked at 1 for a turn, but he was actually able to win that round because after the break ride, because he kept Ian at 3 damage rather than 4, so he was using the anti-limit break strategy, so he couldn't really use that break ride from, Shatnor into Leopold Reverse for the crazy play. And then we go to round 5, where he actually faced against a Royal Paladin player. He didn't really recognize the name. Pretty much, he got Gradelocked on game 1, and then in game 2, he really got the momentum going because he was able to get crit triggers on almost every drive check when he was riding 2 grade 3, and then he got game 2. Now game 3, he actually managed to take it because Ian wasn't able to get the break rise. So it really came down to that final game, and he ended up going to 2-3. So he wasn't able to make the top 8 cut. I know that when I called Alex and Jason, he was actually telling me about the 4 people who top, because once you have more than, I think, 16, 17 people, it becomes 5 rounds of Swiss top 8. And that top 8 playoff, pretty much from there, once you get to top 4, then you get the prize support, whether you want to split or, play it out, etc. And so far, the 3 people that I remember who topped were Henry, Dex, and Rob M. I think Rob M was running Bermudas, Henry I think was running Eradicators, and Dex I think was running Bermuda Triangle as well. Of course, if I manage to get any of the details wrong, feel free to comment down below and just call me out for it. Aside from that, I don't know what were the results from at least the Sunday. I think Buddy Fight was a small event. I think Dex and Arturo topped there. I think Dex was running Dragon World and Arturo was running Dungeon World. And yeah, I'm pretty sure those are just the local results for the whole weekend. I know that a lot of people have been practicing and playtesting just to get their decks and mindset ready for regionals upcoming this week. Plans for that, I know that Henry, Jason, Alex, and I were all planning to head there early Saturday morning, and AlphonZeus is going to be quite a drive, but I hope that we'll just get there all right, and who knows, we'll top. If not, then I guess we'll have fun and get a free point out of it, and maybe go through a round 0. Who knows? In terms of other plans, I know that if some of you have been commenting on Henry's trade binder videos, I'm not sure how much stuff he will be bringing. If he's going to be vending and playing at the same time, still up in the air at this point. But, of course, we'll probably put a video sometime this week just to kind of give a status on what he can actually be doing once it hits the day of the regional. I know that most of us will probably only be there for one day. I know that if some people want to stay for Sunday, that's cool. I know that I have an outside course to take the following Sunday, so I won't be able to get the full Blueish Road experience out of it, unfortunately. Outside of that, I think that should be it for the at least the local results part of it, and at least for the regional plans. Of course, we're going to be playtesting all week. I know that a lot of my teammates will be, probably attending locals, trying to get their practice in, whether it's going to Game On, maybe Gamers Gambit, Comics and Toys, etc. Pretty much anywhere that we can feel that, we can get the most practice out of it and get that mindset ready, because once you go into regionals, it's going to be a lot of YOLO. Stand trick is going to be pretty good in the best of 1 format, as well as just trying not to get Gradelock out of everything that can happen, because boy oh boy did I get Gradelock pretty bad in the first regional I attended, which was back in 2012. Now, in terms of video content for this week, I haven't really gotten in touch with my teammates on what they were able to record from this past weekend, but I know the initial plan was to at least have maybe a match in Cardfight Vanguard or Buddy Fight between 2 team members, and then we get to see a deck profile of each. Maybe if we have a match, I can try and get one of the players that were in that said match and give voiceover commentary as to what was the mindset during that match, so we get to see at least an analysis of what that player was thinking at that time. Expect to see those videos. Probably have an update sometime in the middle of the week. I will also give updates through comments on this video or even in the description as well, just to at least keep you guys informed. Now, outside of that, let's get right into the episode breakdown. Ride 190. If you haven't seen the episode yet, please pause and close the video, go watch that episode, and come back right here so we can discuss about it. Of course, if you don't want to do that, please, you can close out the video. You can just close out and move on. If not, you want to discuss about the episode, well, stay tuned. Now, before moving to the episode breakdown, I also want to mention one thing. In terms of the video quality, we want to make sure that, most, if not all of our videos are in HD. Now, with the Unlocked Week episodes, I'm just using the webcam on my laptop. Now, this webcam doesn't really record in HD, but of course, I'm trying to see what I can do with the funds that I have in order to invest in getting a high-quality video camcorder. I don't think I can rely on the cell phone as much, because although it can put out good HD quality videos, I still can't trust that sometimes I can probably get a phone call or text in the middle of it. Therefore, it's kind of ruining the whole vibe of the video. So if you have any suggestions for any video camcorders that you can recommend that at least are good for vlogs, feel free to comment down below for that. So Ride 190, Determination of the Blueish Flames. We get to see the conclusion of the match between Sarah and Galliard. Seems like everybody's on the same page. And we get to see, of course, Sarah's really crazy Dark Zodiac Legion that would pretty much Omega Lock 2 of Galliard's units. Of course, you know, he can't unlock those at the end of his turn, so he has a whole nother turn to deal with a very limited offensive force. Blue Joker is just showing how crazy they can get, especially in the terms of, you know, bringing back the Omega Lock function in Season 4. And with this fight, it seems that everything was almost going Sarah's way. And the thing is, outside of that, he would actually have the cojones to call final turn when you see Galliard maybe have about at least 4 to 5 cards in his hand. And I think that he was only at 3 damage or so. So it was a bit of a crazy thing. So maybe Sarah was going to get double crit, or maybe not. Whatever the case may be, Galliard would actually outlast that defense. And of course, whoever calls final turn and fails on that looks like a complete douche, especially in terms of Sarah, as probably one of the antagonists. Maybe not the main antagonist, but still an antagonist nonetheless. Of course, with the usual, we get to see a little bit more of a flashback between, you know, Galliard and Aichi as they battle, and, you know, get to see a little bit more of the interaction between the two, especially to show, I guess, the bond that Aichi has with each of the 4 Quattro Knights, whether it's just, you know, talking while outside or just playing the casual game of Cardfight Vanguard. It's, you know, I guess it's team building exercises that Aichi made for at least the Quattro Knights. And seeing how this would flourish and how this would lead to these 4 special people to have very, very broken units, at least, you know, within their respective clans. And seeing the Blueish Flame Liberator Prominence Glare, it just blows Prominence Flare out the window, because it still gets the crit, just like Flare, but Glare has a glory effect. And the thing is, though, the only cost that you have to say is, okay, you counterblast 1, and you have to discard a Blueish Flame card from your hand. And the thing is, though, once a rear guard is placed from your deck, you may pay the cost. And he already has a built-in skill by just counterblast 1 and retiring the rear guard to look at the top 4 and replace it with that. Therefore, you counterblast 2 for a +1 crit and the glory effect where you can't guard with grade 1 units or higher. And of course, the first time that when Galliard did this and just whacked at Sarah, well, let's just say that, okay, maybe he got that trigger to make it go through. Although that when Sarah did attack, I think it was only 20k. Correct me if I'm wrong though. But seeing this, you know, pretty good hype for Prominence Glare could definitely put Gold Paladins back on the map, and especially in something like the anime, Gold Paladins probably need a really big boost in terms of not only popularity, but also a unit that can define the Gold Paladins as the golden boy of the entire series. And usually I thought at this rate, Sarah would be solidifying himself as the main antagonist of the season, but it would all come to waste because he revealed his trump card, and the trump card wasn't enough to do it. Because the final turn, he actually managed to call out a different unit. And the thing is that he didn't stick with Dark Zodiac. He actually went with this unit. So we get to see Sarah's new ace unit in the form of Star Vader Venom Dancer. This grade 3, especially when he performs Legion, he has a pretty interesting effect. That kind of mimics Nova Grapple in a way. Because at the end of the battle that he attacked Galliard, he gets a counterblast 1, and he gets to stand a rearguard for every unit locked. So he stood the 3 units that he needed in order to make another attack, kind of mimicking Infinite Hell. And the thing is, Sarah just acted like he had this in the bag, that there was really nothing else that Galliard can do to stop him. But unfortunately for him, Galliard had enough cards to block, and now he feels completely bad that he was about to just win and go on to face Aichi and rule the world as the true ruler of Link Joker. But Galliard would say no. Of course, when he would call his final turn, not before long seeing the spirits, surprisingly, of both Neve and Rati beside him. And then Galliard, in a very interesting twist, kind of like how Aichi did in previous seasons, would actually say, you probably don't realize the value of mates. You believe in no one but yourself. And it seems like this is true because, of course, Sarah has been the odd one out of the 4 Quattronites that were called to, to Aichi's aid. And it seems like a fitting end of justice for Galliard to at least take out one of the Quattronites that, of course, did not belong. Now, it's a whole lot better when more than one person says final turn, because now they're even gambling even more and just saying, hey, you're not going to get that 6 damage shield trigger, or else now he's probably going to summon the whole army in response, and then they say final turn. So it becomes this little back and forth nonsense of just, all the final turns in the world. Well, of course, thankfully in this episode, we only get to see this little final turn thing once from both players. And thus we see Galliard triumph over Sarah in very convincing fashion with the use of Prominence Blair's Glory effect, in which that, of course, you can't guard with grade 1s or higher, and of course from the last turn that Sarah had, he only had a perfect guard and 10k shield in his hand. So probably would have went for naught if, of course, Prominence Blair didn't have that Glory effect. Anyways, we get to see here the end of at least Sarah's nuisance. And unlike the other Quattronites, he actually ended up with a fate like the mates of Aichi. In this case, like Masaki, like Miwa, like Kamui, because unfortunately he gets the memory judgment. And the thing is, it seemed like he would throw us for a twist when he would say, okay, I received judgment, but it's not like I'm just dead, because he got up as if it was nothing and tried to encase people on ice and tried to get Aichi to fight him in Cardfight Vanguard, of course. And the thing is, we see Rati this time use the plants to break the ice that would separate, of course, the mates from Aichi, with Korin, especially with having a worried look on her face. And we get to see Neve return as well. But this time, he says that, I can just face you guys again, it's no problem. But Galliard would mention the bomb that is, nope, you don't have the full effect of judgment yet, so I'm going to do memory judgment on you, and then you get to go back to Earth without even knowing anything happened. So we get to see the end of that. But now it's all back to the usual plot before Sarah's betrayal, as now we get to see the remaining Aichi's mates face off against the 3 Quattronites that are still standing there. Now, even though the seals are broken, they will still fight, because of course Galliard made a promise to Aichi that he will not let him fall into the hands of the mates that came before him. And of course, with the preview for Ride 191, we get to see, well, at least in this case, Korin step up to the plate, facing off against Naoki. Now, who will actually win this match? I don't really know. It seems like Korin would have the hand that would guide her, but Naoki seems like the hand is just like snatched away from her. That's what I feel like it's like, because at least with Naoki, his unique feature is that he gets to go into a cross-ride region, something that we haven't seen from other units before. So I'm definitely looking forward to see what can we expect out of the next card fight. And that'll be it for the episode breakdown. So, in conclusion, I hope you find this format change for the Unlock the Week vlog to be a bit better, because of course you don't have to go searching in the description to just skip to the local results if you don't want to get spoiled. Of course, if I missed anything or got something wrong, whether it was the local results or the episode breakdown, comment down below, get a conversation started. I will try to do my best to respond to all of your comments. Of course, if for updates for some of the future video content that we'll put up for this week, I'll probably comment down below as Team Gradelock, just so I can at least keep you guys in the loop. Well, of course, my name is AlphonZeus. I hope that you've enjoyed this week that I've unlocked for you, and I will see you guys next time, and take care.